Welcome back to a special interview with the British Foreign Secretary, David Miliband. Foreign Secretary, how difficult a country has Pakistan become? How fragile has it become? How worrisome has it become?
I think fragile is a good word. Fragile for its own people. They've got a real economic crisis that has led to an IMF loan. And fragile also, given its political seesaw between civilian government and military rule. And fragile, thirdly and finally, because of the security dangers that terrorism originating in Pakistan poses to India, to Pakistan, and also to countries like Britain.
You spoke a moment ago about the seesawing between civilian and military rule. Where do you believe the center of power in Pakistan lies? With Asif Zardari, the president? With General Kayani, the army chief? Or with the ISI?
Well, like any seesaw, there's a seesaw, and sometimes one side is up and sometimes the other side is up. I think that the entry into power of a civilian government led by President Zardari is a significant event, one which we worked for very hard. And I don't believe the army, under General Kayani, want to take over power again.
At the moment? Or do you see that being the case for the foreseeable future?
I see no indication that General Kayani wants to be other than Chief of the Army Staff.
What is your assessment of Asif Zardari as president?
I think that the negotiation of the IMF loan and now its implementation is significant and good. I think the assembly of a strong coalition is good, or a stronger coalition than people expected is also important. And I think that President Zardari has tried to do the right thing significantly in respect of Afghanistan, where relations were in deep freeze under President Musharraf, but now have opened up. But also on the security front, I think he recognizes in his heart, because of the tragedy that he suffered with the assassination of his wife, quite what a threat terrorism poses to Pakistan.
Let me tell you, in India he's viewed as a man who says all the right things. He's hugely reassuring when he speaks to the Indian people in interviews, but no one believes he has the power to deliver. He may have the intention, but either the army or the wider establishment checks him.
That's inevitable if you've been in power for 6 months.
So
no one in power for 6 months can prove that deeds follow actions, follow words. That it is inevitable that people are going to ask questions. And that's right. And that's why an issue like the prosecution of those detained after Mumbai is important.
Would you therefore say to the Indian government and maybe to the wider Indian people that they should be a little bit more understanding of the problems that Asif Zardari faces, that perhaps they should give him a bit more time rather than look for immediate results in action?
Well, understanding is a good thing compared to lack of understanding, inevitably. But I don't think I am here to plead for patience or for understanding. I think that the Indian sense of urgency is right. But I tell you this, the urgency for economic and social and political and security reform is felt in here by Pakistanis, because they suffer from this as well.
And you believe that Asif Zardari genuinely feels it in there, as you say?
This is a man who's lost his wife. And he knows what a threat terrorism poses to Pakistan. He also knows the economy that has been hard developed needs to be nurtured.
Another issue on the horizon at the moment, not just involving India and Pakistan, but this time involving Afghanistan as well, are comments made by President-elect Obama. He's gone on record to say that he believes that the solution to the problem in Afghanistan lies at least partly in sorting out the Kashmir problem. Would Britain accept the linkage between Afghanistan and Kashmir?
Well, in Britain we talk about Afghanistan and Pakistan as a single theatre, as a shared geographical...
He's talking about Afghanistan and Kashmir.
Yeah, well, I'm deliberately talking about Afghanistan and Pakistan, and I think it's very important. I know there's great Kremlinology about one sentence that he's used in September or October about this. What I think
December the 7th, more recently.
December the 7th, but nonetheless one sentence I think you'll find. And I think what's important is that President Obama and his new administration will be a new force on the global stage. I believe that they...
You're not answering my question.
Yeah, I'm trying to provide some understanding of what I think an Obama administration is going to bring. They're going to see Pakistan as absolutely central to their investment in a decent government in Afghanistan. They also know that the Kashmir conflict has been the source of flare-up over many years. And I think that many of us outside the region have felt that the composite dialogue and the deliberations that have taken place over Kashmir are welcome. But that is not to say they are part of the Afghan-Pakistan theatre.
So you don't accept the linkage between Afghanistan and Kashmir?
It depends what you mean by linkage. it's a fact that Pakistan has a contested border with Afghanistan and contested issues in respect of Kashmir. What I'm trying to say to you is that the Obama administration's breadth of vision about the problems of the region are not a threat to India. They're not equating India, they're not putting India into the same box, because I know from very senior contacts that the Obama administration will be talking about Afghanistan and Pakistan together, and that is important.
The Obama administration, and this time something that President-elect Obama has said repeatedly, not just once. He said it to Time magazine, he said it to MSNBC, he said it to NBC, is his desire to try and resolve Kashmir seriously. I'm not quoting him, to devote serious diplomatic resources to get a special envoy in there. Does Britain believe that the time has come for either an American or an international initiative to sort out Kashmir?
Well, that's not been our policy, no, actually. We've felt that the composite dialogue, so-called, between India and Pakistan is the right way forward. It's a bilateral issue. Now, let's listen to what President Obama, which he will be in a week's time, actually says. And let's give him the space to explain what he means. I haven't had the chance yet to discuss in detail what that idea might be, but our position has been the bilateral track has been a good track, and it should be used.
Foreign Secretary, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.